Oh, believe me, I didn't plan on coming back from overseas just to find my life hijacked by my own neighborhood. I land after months away, dust still in my boots, sand still under my nails. And the very first thing that hits me isn't the jet lag or the old ache in my shoulder. It's the sight of my house looking like it just got plucked straight out of some real estate listing. Lawns mowed to golf course, neat hedges, sculpted sidewalks sparkling like a car commercial. There's even a new welcome mat. Not the one I left ours said, "Come back with a warrant." This one beams "Live, Laugh, Love," the kind of thing that makes you want to gag or maybe just laugh until you cry. But there's a red Tesla in the driveway, parked bold like it owns the place. I know right away nothing's right here. Then come the wind chimes clinking in the breeze. My wife hates wind chimes. So I walk up, and before my fist even makes it to the doorbell, I catch movement through the glass. Some dudes cruising down my hallway, barefoot t-shirt, protein smoothie in hand. Music floats out, but not real jazz. Just something to make you feel like you're sitting in a coffee shop you can't afford. He opens the door before I can even knock, early 30s. Flip-flop smile, so casual it makes me want to reach for my ID. "Can I help you?" he asks. Like I'm lost. Like I'm the one trespassing. I stare at him, my mind moving fast, not angry, just cataloging. My key's already in my hand, the one that went with me across continents and airports, and hell, one I ED blast. I try the lock. Doesn't turn. He steps back, looking uncomfortable. "If you're looking for the leasing office, maybe try the HOA. We signed everything through them." Then he sticks out a hand. "Zach, of course. That's about when the fake cops show up, a black SUV, community safety painted big on the side. Two guys in matching polos and tactical vests hop out, putting on their best mall cop swagger. "Sir, we're going to need you to step away from the residence." "My house. This is my house," I say. A little louder now. They barely blink. "The tenants have paperwork. It's now an HOA leasehold. You are trespassing." I ask for Karen because, of course, there's a Karen. And just like that, she appears, clipboard visor sunglasses that could blind you at sunset. She's got the kind of smile you only get from decades of making other people miserable for fun. "You're early," she says, not a hint of shame. "You weren't scheduled to return until Q4? Q4? Like my homecoming is a line item on her precious spreadsheet. I wasn't scheduled. I was deployed. Karen rattles off her script. Bylaw 14C, leave your house empty for over 90 days and the board can reassign it, meaning rent it to whomever they please. Did she get my deployment waiver? Must have been a clerical error. But hey, I'm welcome to contest it at the next monthly board meeting. The smile doesn't even falter. I ask her straight. She admits, they changed my locks, leased my house, filled it with strangers, all while I was across the world in uniform. She shrugs. We followed procedure, but not the law. Then I'm sure you'll have no trouble proving that. Guards step closer, just enough pressure to see if I'll crack. Over their shoulders, I spot my wife's deployment photo still there, hanging by the kitchen. These people didn't even bother taking it down. I could feel my key digging into my palm. Could have snapped it in two. Instead, I put it away, walked to the curb, and sat in the rental car. Not beaten, just plotting. That's what you do. You regroup, you call for backup. Now, living out of a motel, I taste that sadness in the carpets every morning. Our son barely talks. Hood up, headphones on, barricaded in his own thoughts. My wife moves quiet, carrying a tiredness that I can't fix. I'm glued to my laptop, tearing through bylaws and zoning codes, reading every board meeting note for a loophole. And then buried in a draft, I find it Bylaw 14C Section 3. Properties that don't contribute to visual standards for 90 days can be reassigned to board control. Backdated. Filed after I'd left. Signed by Karen. I scroll through meeting minutes, find her handwriting. This should help solve the Spruce Lane issue. I'm not even a person. I'm just a problem. One morning, I spot one of the HOA's rent-a-cops in the motel lot laughing on his phone about how I showed up early, freaked out, thought he'd go full Rambo. Karen told him I checked out long before I left. That one stings. I walk up close enough to see him sweat. Tell Karen if she's going to quote me, do it to my face. He shuts up. I walk away. Later, we drive by the house. my son's face pressed to the glass. His room's been painted over telescope-gone dog bed, where his childhood used to be. Is it still our house? He whispers. I can't answer. That night back at the motel, my wife finds me glued to the screen. What do we do? She asks. We build the file, I say. Every signature, every dollar, every lie, we take it back. Next day, I strap a GoPro to my shirt, walk into the HOA office like I'm shopping for condos. Karen's inside, schmoozing a realtor. I don't say a word, just snap a picture of that bylaw pinned to the board. I lean in. You should be careful who you write laws for. Her smile cracks. Then Mrs. Delaney walks in, the widow from the corner lot. Sees me, then Karen, and says, You did get his deployment notice, didn't you? Karen's smile vanishes. You told me you had it on file, Delaney says, voice rising. Said he wasn't coming back soon enough to matter. The silence could flatten a marching band. That's it. One sentence, and this civil war just turned legal. Later in the motel, the silence thickens. I get a cease and desist. Karen claims unauthorized surveillance. They're pushing me. I take the bait. At night, I park by the house. Watch. Wait. A man, Ron the new tenant, drags my son's old bookshelf to the curb and dumps it. I walk over, still as a shadow. That yours? He says it's busted, didn't know it belonged to my son. I get close. You don't throw away someone else's life just because it looks broken to you. He apologizes, disappears inside. My heart pounds, not with rage, with restraint. Once in Kandahar, I crossed the line, made the call, saved lives. But I still carry the cost. This time, I keep the line. My wife sees it. She pours coffee, says nothing. I tell her I'm calling in the team. She's not scared, she's ready. I send the message. The old squad shows up. Ramos, huge, intimidating. Yates, the ghost in the machine. Bowen, Davis, Reed. We stage in an empty vape shop, lay out maps, assign roles. No weapons, no armor, just cameras, just proof. Karen makes her move calls in a favor with an old judge, her planned paperwork in confusion. I tell the guys we're not here to scare her. We're here to protect what's ours. At dawn, the sheriff is waiting with a list of our names. Operation Homecoming is a go. We move in pairs, legal, visible, recording everything. Karen shows up, calls us trespassers, harassers. The sheriff listens. I hand him the files, video records, digital proof. Karen tries to laugh it off, but her hand's shaking. Then a call, you're about to be served. Federal injunction. IRS tax fraud investigation tied to illegal rental income. It's bigger than Karen. Redford, my old CO, is behind it, editing the HOA rules after I left, covering tracks, pulling strings. But arrogance leaves a trail. Bowen finds it all, the kill packet. Leases, tax fraud, forged signatures, all connected to Monroe, HOA treasurer, and shady real estate broker. We send the evidence everywhere, County JAG, Housing Commission. I send a certified copy straight to Karen. She gets it, runs inside like she's holding a grenade. Retaliation is quick. Ramos gets a restraining order. Karen's bleeding our squad, but she overreaches. We countersue, but wait for the perfect moment. Then Amanda and Leo, the renters, show up. Guilty honest. They thought it was a legit rental abandoned by owner, paperwork signed by Karen. Amanda shows me emails and more, 6 other homes, all military, all abandoned by the same board leased by Monroe. This isn't just my fight. Bowen traces it all, dozens of illegal rentals, Monroe's signature on every lease. I call the DA. We post the story how the HOA hijacked the homes of heroes. It spreads like wildfire. Cops serve Monroe with subpoenas. I tell him, you looted us. He smirks. HO as our legal fortresses. I say, then we'll siege. Karen, even from jail, files a last-ditch complaint to have my house condemned. But we pull every thread, footage, neighbor waivers, old newsletters. City dismisses the complaint, launches a fraud probe against her. Karen's lawyer bails. She stands alone in court. The state lays it all out, false liens, racial targeting, siphoning funds. She built her empire on the backs of people who couldn't fight back. This time, she picked the wrong target. Everything seized: her condo, her car, her little stash. The HOA disbands, assets split. Every homeowner gets a payout. Even me. One night, Mrs. Delaney drops by with cookies and a thank you note. We don't have to be afraid anymore. That's when it lands. This wasn't just about my house. We rewrote the rules. But just when the dust settles, another envelope arrives. No return address, just appeal. Inside, a rusty key labeled Unit 13, a place that doesn't exist. Threat warning. Maybe the war's not over. Sometimes the real enemy's not a person, but the system one that thinks it can outlast anyone who fights back. But it's not just about outlasting. It's about standing together, refusing to get steamrolled by bylaws and boardrooms. That's the lesson that snuck up on me. Quiet but sharp as a bayonet justice only wins when people quit backing down. Sometimes that's all it takes. So here's a question worth chewing on. Where's the line between fighting for what's right and just getting even? Ever stare down a system that thought you'd break? Or did you ever see someone stand up when nobody else would? Leave a comment, share your story, or just tell me, do you think justice ever really wins, or does it just survive another day?
Cảm ơn các bạn đã xem video của mình.